Now we have Anthony, Tom, Andrea, and one more here from the Museum Trust Board.
Let's play musical chairs.
Greetings.
Greetings. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Thompson, Acting Chair of the Canterbury Museum Board, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. For over 7 years, I've been your business representative on this board, on behalf of the Christchurch City Council, alongside my day job as Managing Director of local business Elastima Products, a company I've dedicated my life to for 50 years. Nick Hawkins, your other business appointed to the Museum Board, has been called away about 2 minutes ago before we walked in and tenders his apologies. Nick is a respected project director on major government initiatives across New Zealand and has made a huge impact on our ongoing museum projects from a governance and other technical point of view. Our Museum Director of 29 years, Anthony Wright, needs no introduction. His unwavering dedication to the museum and the Robert McDougall rejuvenation deserves commendation. Also with us is Nigel Tekowski, our CFO for over 21 years, and Andrea Webley, recently appointed to lead our fundraising and future development efforts. I'd also like to pass on our apologies on behalf of David Ayres, who is currently overseas, and David is the chair. It would also be very remiss of me not to acknowledge my appreciation to Melanie Coker and Tyrone Fields, your councillor representatives on the board. Their energy and professionalism, as well as their commitment to assisting us through countless hours of meetings, and they'll attest to that, have been vital to keeping this project on track. We are here today to make a brief submission on your annual plan and ask for your continued support. Times are challenging, but together we are building an exciting future, a revitalised Canterbury Museum that will inspire pride and wonder for generations to come. Time, however, is not on our side, and delays come at a significant cost. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Mayor Phil and CEO Mary and the councillors, one and all, for their support, as well as the council staff whose assistance has been invaluable to working with us to turn our vision into reality. So now I'd like to hand over to Anthony Wright, who's said enough, Tom, and he'll lead us through the presentation.
Thanks, Tom. Kia ora tātou. In a nutshell, the presentation today is to ask for your continued support to get from this, which is what the museum looked like the day we closed it 2 years ago, to this, which is the facade of a hugely expanded and revitalised museum, currently due to reopen in mid-2029. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Behind that facade is a massive workplace, and we have an invitation out for you to come and see what's actually happening on site in the next couple of weeks. So we hope we'll be able to show you more about that. But we're about securing the museum's future now for at least 50, probably 100 years. So this is the first major capital development for well over 60 years in the history of the museum. You know all about the ageing infrastructure, the fact that we cannot deliver the big world-class exhibitions, and we were bursting at the seams long before we moved out. Our vision is very much centred in the community. We did extensive consultation back in 2020 and got a resounding support right across the community. I think there might be one person that does not live in Christchurch who is descended from the Robert McDougall family that perhaps isn't our biggest supporter, although he's totally supportive of everything we're doing in the museum, just not the McDougall. This is what the vision of Araitiuru, the new bicultural Māori heart of the museum, will look like. So for the first time, there will be a full height to the sky space in the centre of the museum that helps you orient yourself. A huge increase in new exhibition space, 50% increase in floor area, being able to devoted to showing way more of our collections than we've been able to in the past. We're here to in support of your annual plan regarding three elements: the statutory grant or museum levy for our operations, the original capital grant for redevelopment, which is what's feeding the funds required at the moment, and the capital program around the Robert McDougall Gallery. That support is integral to our future. We I guess, are technically objecting to the annual plan in that we are requesting for an additional capital grant to fund stage 5 of the building fit out. Last time we presented to you, we were telling you the results of the tender we went out to the market for. As a result of that tender, we've had to split the original stage 4, which was the building shell and fit out, into a stage 4 building shell, which we could afford to commit to, and then work on the funding for fit out. That funding, delta there saw the cost of the overall project increase from 205 to 247 million. We have looked through every option we can to reduce that, the call. Already $11 million of value engineered reductions have been made in the budget within the original brief and consents, and we're now at a point where we cannot see any further significant savings within the brief and the consents, which will lead to a going concern museum with a future on reopening. We really need local and central government commitment to funding by January 2026 to avoid a massive further cost blowout in the project due to escalation and the cost of redesign and delay. So there is just over 86 million remaining unfunded, and our proposal in our annual plan put to you is that we seek 25 million from central government, 25 million from local government, and we commit to raising the remaining 36.6 million. Andrea will speak about our fundraising strategy in a few minutes. This is what our draft annual plan had in it in terms of the ask for your share of the 25 million across 4 years. Hot off the press yesterday is advice from our quantity surveyors and project team on the cash flow requirements, the actual cash flow requirements for that 25 million extra, and you'll see that it's lower in the first year, a bit higher in the second year, the bulk is in the third year, and 20% remaining in the fourth year. We're very happy to work with you should you decide to support us as requested on the disposition between those years that is most advantageous for you. But what we require is the commitment by January next year so that we don't have to hive off the cost of, or we don't have to hugely increase the cost of the fit out by delaying it and not doing it contemporaneously with the main build. The board has asked for a simple explanation of funding. You can see our secured funding on the left there, of which we have spent 56 million, the dark red on the left-hand side to date. The contract we've let from secured funding is the red band above that, and the palest blue above that is our fundraising yet to occur. On the right-hand one, you'll see that the project broken down into its stages. Stages 1 to 3, stage 3 is almost complete, and I'll show you a couple of pics in a sec. Stage 4 we've committed to, and that takes up the majority of our secured funding. What we're asking for your and central government and our own fundraising commitment to is the medium blue bit there for stage 5. And we're very confident we can raise the money. We've got high net worths very keen on the remaining stage 6 for exhibitions. Why your support matters, it's around protecting heritage. We want to be able to inspire future generations to continue to strengthen the community, and we're confident that post-opening, a bit like Tūranga was, and I'm sure the stadium is going to be, to really inspire the world that we have the best here in Christchurch. I'll hand over to Andrea.
Hello, I've not met many of you. I'm Andrea Webley. I'm the Fundraising Development Manager for the museum. It's a privilege for me to be in this role. I've been in it for a year and to have a small part of this incredible project. We have a strategy that focuses on those 5 top streams, so trusts and grants, and where we are here with lotteries, we've already successful with lotteries. We have a grant in with Rata. We met with them at the end of last year. Very keen to support where they can. Once we get to the smaller projects at the end, we will be going to the smaller funders. With our high net worths, we have a very established network already. We've run several events and we've got more coming up. We have naming rights available, which will attract a large sum from some people. We're looking at a museum circle to bring in some of the rest. But wherever we go, we have positive feedback. Corporate sponsorship's tricky at this stage when we're not even out of the ground, but we are talking to businesses. They are keen to be part of this project. Government agencies, which includes you, but just to let you know, we had 5 MPs on site at the end of December, all local, both National and Labour, very, very supportive of the project. We are now talking higher up the ranks in both parties, so that's been super positive. We will be looking at a public campaign. It's not working. Yeah. Anyhow, the public campaign will centre around, bringing those items. There's 2.3 million items in our collection, and we want the community to help us get those back into Rolliston Ave once the building's done and the fit-out's complete.
I see we're out of time, and so it's locked up the presentation. We can't show you the pictures of what's on site, but we will take you and show those of you that are able to come. But we are making great progress. The D-wall, the reverse swimming pool around the entire construction site is 100% complete. The micropiling of the Robert McDougall to hold it up while we dig out the basement underneath that. Oh, there we are. There's the D-wall around the McDougall that goes right around the site. There's the forest of micropiles and the guys working under the McDougall. 85% through that and due to be completed in early May. We're ensconced in these palatial quarters out in Hornby as our temporary home for the next 5 years. The whole collection under one roof there, and we are down the back of that space already starting to build some of the new exhibitions for the redeveloped museum. Back on site, the Centennial Wing facade is now propped up, and in this last week, the 2 metre scrape of the top level of soil on site has begun to happen, so excavation has started.
Time is against us. Yep. We've got we've got 2 questions, one from Sarah and one from Mark, and then we'll call it a day.
Sure.
Thanks so much. Just on the timing issue, you're saying that you need a decision on the funding by January.
Yes.
We don't normally make those kind of decisions outside of the annual plan process, but we're likely to have to, for example, consult on that scale of additional funding. Are you saying that we can maybe do a separate consultation later in the year as opposed to annual plan, or if we waited till next year and consulted in next year's annual plan, it's past January, you wouldn't get a decision till June, but it's fraught timing wise.
We understand that, and it was a huge shock to us to get the cost increase. But if we want to expedite the project as cost effectively as possible, we need to be able to make a commitment to the contractors to add back in elements of fit out over the same build period by January next year. That's the drop dead time. Otherwise, they're going to be building structure and then having to bring people back in to put services in later, which increases costs hugely.
Okay, thanks.
And that's where the cash flow comes. The cash flow is the money that's needed to deliver the services that have to be plugged into the museum as it's built.
And it would need to be the whole amount committed to, not just the first year, because you need to know that it's going to be the whole thing. Okay.
Exactly. Good question.
Through you, Your Worship. I think you're correct, Councillor Templeton. The way the museum's timing worked does not align with ours, so staff will have to look at that and bring back some advice to council about what are the options and so on. But there is a timing issue there that's been identified, and it really runs because of the way the museum's plan is presented to council. I think it's in March, isn't it? So that was the challenge there. So we'll have to bring something back to you.
Okay.
Yes, as the next council. Yes.
All right. We have 2 questions, and we have 5 minutes to do it in. That's the question and the answer. Okay.
Thank you. Really pleased to be hosting your collection out in Hornby at the moment. So, yeah, welcome to Hornby. On the 11th of April, I think, is the times you've given us for a visit. is there any flexibility around that? Because we've got annual plan hearings on that day.
Yeah,
We have come back to you and offered time, I think, the day
10th,
before in the afternoon.
1 o'clock on the 10th is coming just to you guys. We did that through Ruth. So,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
So hopefully you'll know that soon. Yeah.
And Yanni, please.
I just hope we can have a workshop before we get hit with a $25 million report to council. It'd be good just to talk through. I've got, heaps of questions, but we don't have sufficient time today to get into detail. So can I request we have an information session or a briefing or some ability to workshop?
15th of April, we are presenting to full council on our usual longer annual plan presentation. So this is a very potted version, but there'll be a chance there for us to present more detail and answer more questions, as well as the site visit.
So you will have been on site then, so that will be great too. So
Yep, you have a better idea what's going on. Just one real quick question for me. How's the, I'll say diaphragm wall department going? Is that nearly done?
It's 100% done.
Oh, it is.
Finished, yeah.
Oh, well,
And the
that,
capping beam, that what you saw in that
Yep.
photo was a capping beam, and that's, I think, 95% now, and next week we'll probably be finished.
so next thing's hole digging.
Yep. Yep.
Goodio. Thank you very much for coming in.
Cheers, thank you. Thank you.
if you
Rightio,
haven't, if you
we're
haven't
back.
seen Wharenui Harakoa, you should go. It's amazing.
We're back at 2 o'clock, please.